ETBU Extra here on the GoE2Tigers.com at the ETBU Sportsnet. Thank you for clicking in today as we continue to talk Tiger Athletics, broadcasting live from the first floor of the Ornella Student Center on the campus of East Texas Baptist University. Continue to talk Tiger tennis. Appreciate Tyler Tolopka, member of the Tiger men's team, being our guest moments ago. Now it's the head coach of the Tigers. Before I even start everything out, Coach Bramlett, I want to say congratulations for being named the Coach of the Year in the American Southwest Conference. Right, an honor for you to bestow, but of course,
thank you very much.
Knowing you didn't win the award. Your players won the award, really.
Oh, yeah. There's the players. I mean, it's been such a blessing. I got to just give all glory to God on that. It's certainly not me. It's been a real blessed season.
Let's talk about the women's team before we talk about the men and going into the conference tournament tomorrow. Let's kind of wrap up the season. The women's been 14-5 on the year, best ever finish in the 5 years of the program which we started it. You go into the conference tournament last weekend looking to know you probably want to get there and face UT, Tyler. Unfortunately, you lose in that championship round, but wow, you had some great matches to get to face UT, Tyler, for the championship.
Yeah, we did. I mean, we had a real good match against Mary Hardin Baylor. We swept them 9-0. Then we had to play Hardin Simmons, which the score didn't indicate it. I think it was a 5-1 score, if I remember correctly. But we had a lot of close matches in that. We had some three-setters and some close doubles matches. So that was a pretty hard-fought match in that one. And then, so just to get there was very difficult. They were the West champions. And then in the finals, same type of thing. The score did not indicate at all how difficult of a match that was. There was a 5-0 score, but we actually had match points at number one girls doubles. I think Kate was 2 points away from winning her match. Kelly had split sets in her match. I'm convinced she would have won her match. Malika was winning her match. I'm trying to think who else was on the court winning her match, but I think we'd have won all the remaining matches at that point. Probably very good chance we'd have had a 5-4 score just like the first time we'd played them if we'd finished the remaining matches. So it was a lot of close matches, and they just happened to get the first 5.
Of course, the Tigers finished as the runner-up in the American Southwest Conference Women's Tennis Championship. And Coach, as you look back on the season and you think about, man, wow, what a great year for our ladies, what do you think you will take to build on for next year?
Kayla's the one I was leaving out. Kayla would have won. She always comes back and wins. We're convinced Kayla would have won hers. She always loses the first set. What was the last question?
So as you look back on the season, what do you build on to go into next year? What kind of think, wow, what a great year we had, and some of the moments that you think always stick in your mind as well as your players' minds?
Oh boy, I mean, it's just been a Cinderella season, honestly. Every match they played was a historic match. I mean, just about every team that we beat was a first. Just about every win we had, it seemed like it was against a regionally ranked opponent or a nationally ranked opponent, and we got to remember also it's just a very, very young team. Everybody on the team were freshmen or sophomores, and just to be able to get to the finals of the conference tournament against a very experienced team, a team that virtually wins conference every single year, has been there. They're very experienced. I'm hoping that that's something that we can build upon and know that if we can get there again next year, that hey, we've been there before. This isn't going to be too big for us. This is something that we're used to, and we won't be quite as nervous next year. And hopefully we can come back with the W next year.
Of course, with the end of the tennis season for the Tigers in the American Southwest Conference, the awards came out, and there's so many of your players on that list of all conference and things like that. Go to the ETBU website to see the full list. I guess seeing all of the girls' names on those lists of all conference didn't surprise you because you know how good they are.
Yeah, well, I know how good they are, and it's nice because this goes to a coach's vote, and so our peers out there are recognizing it also, and we got several first team votes out there, and the ones that didn't get the first team votes got the second team votes, and more importantly, we got a lot of the awards. For the MVPs and the sportsmanship awards and the newcomer of the years and awards like that.
And the coach of the year.
Oh well, and the coach of the year. That's only because I have such good players. I mean, you got to have the horses in the stables, and as I always say, and boy did we ever this year. But I always tell everybody it's more important to me how we carry ourselves on the court. If we have the character and we represent ETBU on the court and reflect Christ, I mean, the winning would take care of itself. And I think everybody saw that this year, and the winning did take care of itself. And it's obviously been the girls are being recognized in the awards that are being dispersed this year in the ASC.
You mentioned that you stress to your players to be a player of integrity and character. Of course, Casey named the Sportsmanship Athlete of the Year for the tennis side of the American Southwest Conference. Why do you think the coaches chose her?
Well, I mean, obviously she's our marquee player, and you know, we actually played the Trinity tournament over spring break, and our team won it as a whole, and actually Kate won the award there as the individual that they picked out for the Sportsmanship Award. But you honestly could have picked anybody on our team, and they could have won the Sportsmanship Award this year. I mean, we just had that much character on the team, and Kayla being our marquee player on the court and ranked top 10 in the country, top 5 in the region. You know, I think that's a big reason that she was picked, and she is a tremendous sport. I mean, she'll play a ball that is this far out and hit another 20 or 30 balls to win the point before there'll be any question on a line call. I mean, the rule of thumb is if you're in doubt, play it. But a lot of people get that backwards. You know, that when in doubt, call it out, which is actually very unsportsmanlike. But if there's any doubt, she'll play it. And I've been there when she's only lost 2 matches that I've seen this year, and one was at UT Dallas, and one was up at Nationals this year, 3.5 hour match, and she walked off the court with such dignity and was very graceful, and congratulated her opponent, congratulated her coaches, and I knew it was very, very difficult for her to do that, and the other coaches have seen that, you know, because you know, really the true test of character is not when you're winning, but when you lose, and people have seen her lose and have seen that side of her. So I think that was probably one of the big reasons.
So many of the women's tennis players on the all-conference list. I encourage you to take a look at go2tigers.com and click on the story about all those postseason awards by women's tennis. Time now to put women's tennis to bed. 14-5 on the year. Runner-up. I say runner-up sounds better. Runner-up in the American Southwest Conference Championship Tournament. Now let's move on and talk to Tigers men's tennis. 3-1 in ASC play. You know, this team has come a long way from the start and having kind of a slow start, but now they've picked things up. And you got to be pleased that they're heading into the conference tournament tomorrow.
Oh, very, very pleased. I mean, we started off, you know, with quite a few losses to start the season, and I knew there was probably a real good chance that was going to happen. They were playing the same schedule as our women's team, and it was just a very, very difficult schedule. And I just felt like if we could just get a couple wins and just get the ball rolling and get to our conference schedule, that our best tennis was going to be ahead of us. As long as we didn't lose our confidence with a very, very young team, mostly freshmen, one sophomore, and then Tyler, and we got a couple of wins up there at that spring break tournament. We beat a regionally ranked team. It's easy for me to say, a regionally ranked team in TLU, and then got that 5-4 win, ironically, against Concordia, who we're supposed to play this weekend, and their confidence just exploded at that point, and we changed our doubles lineups, and that helped. The chemistry just clicked. And then we got into some more winnable matches at that point, going into the Eastern Conference matches, and then played a very, very good team in TLU. And we probably played our best match. Against Laterno. Probably played our best match of the year against Laterno, and we're peaking at the right time, and it shows going into the conference tournament.
Tiger tennis, men's tennis, starts the conference tournament tomorrow. Host school is University of Texas at Dallas, and tomorrow you have a match up against Concordia, which you had a close match. Back on March 12th, you won 5-4, so it's probably going to be another close match, maybe?
Yeah, it is. I mean, on paper, it's probably going to be one of those 50-50 matches with it being 5-4. I mean, they've made a couple changes in their lineup. I know they switched their partners at the 1 and 2 doubles. They've switched their 2 and 3 boys singles. We've left ours the same. So it's honestly going to come down to those individual matchups. It's just a little bit of a chess match at that point, and just who wants it the most, and who's playing well at that point. And I'll bet on our guys any time at that. I know our guys want it the most, and we feel like we're peaking at the right time, and we're ready to go and ready to get out there and get a Tiger win.
As you watch your Tiger athletes on the tennis team play in a match, how do you know things are going well? Obviously the score, but there's other things that you see as a player and what they're hitting and making shots. You go, hey, we got it on our game today.
Well, I mean, a lot of times in doubles, it's who's been the most aggressive, who's getting on top of the net, who's getting first serves in, you know, making every return in play. who's looking pumped up, who's excited on the court, who's being aggressive. Singles a lot of times is who's just keeping the ball in play, who's not making the unforced error, who's not giving away the easy points, that sort of thing. Typically, you get to know each player so well, and you kind of know what their mental game is like, and how they play best. Some play best real fired up. Some people play best real calm. Some people play best middle of the road, and I can read their body language pretty quick and see what frame of mind that they're in, if they're being positive on the court or if they're getting upset. Typically in tennis, it doesn't help to lose your temper. You got to stay calm out there and play within yourself and not go for too much. And I can usually read that pretty quick out there, within the first few games of the match, and kind of engage it from there.
Of course, I only seen a few college tennis matches in my life. Can you talk to your players while they're on the court? Can you, in a break, go and say, hey, you might want to do something different this time? Are you allowed to do as a coach?
Oh, yeah, you can do that. You're allowed to coach them in between each point as long as it doesn't disrupt play. You get 25 seconds in between each point. You can't go out there and somebody be waiting to serve, and then you'd be coaching somebody. You'd get a point penalty for that.
Can you call a timeout as a coach in tennis?
No timeouts. Now, you can stall and have them take a bathroom break or something like that. I almost thought about doing that against UT Tyler in the women's match, because Kate was 2 points away from a win. I thought about stalling and sending somebody for a bathroom break. But, there's a fine line between that being ethical and unethical. But you got the minute and a half between games. You got 2 minutes between sets as far as the coaching. And I always feel that personally. A lot of coaches overcoach, and sometimes the kids hate it when the coach walks out there when they're not doing well, and they get stressed.
They know they're not doing well.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you could have John McEnroe, Roger Federer, and Nadal out there, and it's not gonna matter. They know what they need to do, and they just need to calm down and honestly get one more ball back. I mean, I feel like it's won or lost on the practice court, honestly.
All right, women's coach Jeff Bramlett, head of the Tiger tennis program. The men's team heads to the conference tournament tomorrow. Coach, any final words from you before we head on out today on ETBU Extra?
No, not that I can think of. Just appreciate the support, and man, what a great year for Tiger sports this year.
Yes, indeed.
Go Tigers.
Well, Coach, best of your Tigers tomorrow in the conference championship tournament.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, men's tennis tomorrow, ASC conference championship tournament hosted by UT Dallas and Richardson. They have their first match against Concordia tomorrow. When they win, they would play again on Friday at 2 p.m. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of ETBU Extra. Thank you for clicking in today at goetbtigers.com and watching the clips later video-wise on YouTube. Appreciate Adam and Matthew and Kenneth for their help today behind the scenes. Without them, of course, the show would not happen. Also appreciate the coaches and the players who came by to talk to us as well. Well, that's going to wrap up today from the campus of ETBU. Thank you for watching or listening, and our final words to you are, Go Tigers!